What does it mean to surrender yourself spiritually? In the pursuit of this answer, we delve into the wisdom of the Bible. For many, the Bible serves as a guide, shedding light on the path to spiritual surrender. The first verse that comes to mind is Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 and 6, which read, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight." Here, surrender is about trust. It's not about giving up or admitting defeat, but about leaning on a power greater than your own. Trusting in the Lord implies that you're willing to release control, to submit your ways to him, and let him guide you. Next, we look at Matthew chapter 16, verse 24. Then Jesus said to his disciples, "Whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross and follow me." This verse speaks to the idea of denial of self. It's about setting aside our own desires and whims in order to follow a higher calling. Taking up your cross signifies the willingness to endure whatever may come in the pursuit of this spiritual journey. Let's also consider Psalm chapter 46, verse 10. "Be still and know that I am God." This verse encapsulates the essence of spiritual surrender. Being still does not mean inactivity, but rather, it's a tranquility that comes from knowing and acknowledging the presence of God. It's about silencing the noise of the world and tuning into the divine. Finally, we turn to Romans chapter 12, verse 1. "Therefore, I urge you, brothers and sisters, in view of God's mercy, to offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. This is your true and proper worship." Here, surrender is depicted as a living sacrifice, a continuous act of devotion and worship. It's not a one-time event, but a lifestyle of surrendering to God's will. The common thread in these verses is the call to relinquish control, to trust in a divine power, and to live a life of self-denial in pursuit of spiritual growth. Spiritual surrender, as depicted in the Bible, is not about losing, but about gaining trust, peace, and a deeper relationship with the divine. It's about setting aside our human instincts and allowing God to lead the way. It's an active, conscious choice to submit to God's will and let him guide our path. In conclusion, spiritual surrender, according to these biblical verses, is a journey of trust, self-denial, tranquility, and continuous devotion. It's about embracing the divine guidance and acknowledging that there's a power greater than ourselves guiding our path. It's an invitation to experience peace, growth, and fulfillment in surrendering to the divine. It's a call to let go and let God. In Matthew chapter 6, verse 33, we are reminded, "But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well." This verse is more than a call to action. It's a call to priority. It emphasizes the importance of placing God's kingdom above all else, above our worldly desires, above our personal ambitions. It encourages us to desire God's righteousness before our own needs, to seek his divine wisdom before our earthly knowledge. But this verse also carries a promise. It promises that when we put God first, when we prioritize his righteousness, all our needs will be met. Our worries, our fears, they will be taken care of when God's kingdom becomes our primary pursuit. In essence, seeking God's kingdom first is another form of spiritual surrender. It's about trusting that our needs will be met when we prioritize God, when we let his divine wisdom guide our lives. It's about surrendering our control, our worries, and embracing the divine guidance. It's a call to let go and let God. James chapter 4, verse 7 tells us, "Submit yourselves then to God. Resist the devil and he will flee from you." This verse is not just a command, but a guide to spiritual surrender. It calls us to submit to God, to yield our will and our desires to his divine wisdom. It's a call to resist the devil, to resist our sinful nature, our personal ambitions that are not aligned with God's will. It's a call to resist the urge to be in control, to let go and let God. But this verse also carries a promise. It promises that when we submit to God, when we resist our sinful nature, the devil will flee. Our fears, our worries, our temptations, they will lose their hold on us when we submit to God. Submitting to God and resisting our sinful nature is a key aspect of spiritual surrender. It's about trusting God, about surrendering our control, embracing his divine guidance, and finding peace in his presence.